This is Packer and Durham on ACCN and SiriusXM Channel 371.
Elizabeth Mason, about a half an hour from now, Florida State softball. They get back to work tomorrow night, taking on UCLA in the College World Series. Link Jarrett, Notre Dame baseball coach, join us in about 15 minutes. But, Wes, right now, we bring on the national champion in men's golf from Clemson, South Carolina. It's Turk Pettit. There he is. Turk, first of all, welcome to the show, and congratulations on the natty. That had to feel good.
Oh, it felt great. It was special. So, thanks for having me on, Mark and Wes, and glad I can be here.
All right, Turk, this is the beginning of a long day. Now, you win the national championship, you come back from Arizona, and now all of a sudden you're on like a car wash media tour today. So we're like, Pac said in the first hour, we're the first of how many interviews do you have today? 6 or something?
I think I have 7. My girlfriend just asked me, and I was like, I thought I had 4 or something, and I was like, sorry, I have 7. So
7?
Hey, let's get something straight. I know you're the national champ, but if you don't give your girlfriend a real shout-out on national television, my man, you may be doing this for a long time. You better give her a shout-out right now. Get your girlfriend. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mackenzie, she's great. We've been dating for like 9 months, and that was actually the first tournament she's ever seen me play. So,
wow, 1 for 1.
Now wait a second. Hold on.
Special.
You win one that the first one she's ever seen. You win the national championship, Turk. I got news for you. Let me tell you how this works going forward. Mackenzie's going to show up at the box at a qualifier at about 5 in the morning one day and wonder what in the world her life decision's been about. But otherwise, I'd say she probably needs to be on the next ride, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would say so.
All right, let's talk about this thing now. I know from a team perspective, you wish you were playing today. I get that. We're going to have Oklahoma Pepperdine for the national championship. And this is a team game. So from that perspective, I get it. But individually, Turk, what was it about the course, the week, where you said, hey, guess what? It fits my eye. Let's go play and let's go low and let's go win it.
Well, I think the big thing is out there you got to drive it well. I drove it very well all week. And another thing is the greens are really firm and more firm than anything. They kind of got a little fast, especially in the afternoon. But I spin the ball a lot, so that makes it easy, kind of getting the ball close to the hole than some other guys, I would say. So, when you see a course set up like that, it makes it easier, in my opinion, for me to play well.
So here's the other thing, though, and Pac just mentioned this being a team game. You had some success at Clemson. I mean, you guys as a team have had great success. Individually, it's kind of been a different ride for you, right? I mean, your last tournament win prior to the NCAA title was in Kannapolis at Irish Creek. So take me through kind of the journey, and when did you sense, okay, was it a practice round where you felt like, you know what, I'm playing pretty good and the golf course kind of fits my eye, or where was it that it kind of kicked in? Hey, I may have a chance to do this.
Well, I don't know if there's a point specifically. I would say this, like I won my freshman year, and after that, I didn't win for a while, but over the past year, I've been putting myself in the position to win a lot, and I haven't done it. And this week just happened to be it. I mean, I could have won a couple times this year, and I didn't do it. I didn't play good enough down the stretch. I hit some bad shots, and I didn't pull it out. So this week I finally did, and it just happened to work out this week. And it's one of those things anybody will tell you, if you put yourself in the position enough times, it's going to happen eventually. It's just there's no way it can't. So you just gotta keep putting yourself there, and that's what people tell you to do, and that's what I try to do. So,
Turk, so I'm sitting here watching the 4th round, and at home on the couch, we know exactly what the leaderboard says. We're watching guys on the other side. You're playing the front 9, which was your last, and vice versa for the other guys. And I found out afterwards that you didn't have any idea. Leaderboard, I don't want to know where I am. You got Coach Larry Penley walking with you. So Larry didn't say a word to you. I mean, you're coming down, you're grinding. You're just trying to make another birdie coming down the stretch. You had no earthly idea where you stood, big picture, coming down the last 5-6 holes?
Well, I mean, I knew I was up there. I mean, I knew I had the lead after 9 because I was on 18 green, and they had the Golf Channel playing really loud in the clubhouse, and I just heard everything. So that's when I knew I had the lead, and I figured I did have the lead at that point before that on 18, but that's when I really found out. So when I made the 2 bogeys, it was like, well, I guess I'm still right there. But Coach was walking with me, which was pretty special. Normally he lets me go and do my own thing and play, and I'll see him on the par 3s. But he was walking with me, and he told me a couple times, let's get birdie. Let's try and make a birdie. So I figured I needed 1 or 2 more, which kind of helped me kind of hit some good shots coming down the stretch.
All right, I want to drift back a little bit in your story here because, first of all, you grew up kind of in Auburn. You're a high school quarterback. You're a really good high school quarterback in football, but you end up playing golf. Now, we hear about 2-sport guys, but it's not often football and golf. Now, there are a lot of football players that think they can play golf, and I'm sure you know some on campus there that think they can play golf, like at other schools around the country. How did Turk Pettit separate the football-golf situation, since you're really good at both, and then when you began at Clemson, and now, how much does the football help you when you play golf? How much does that mentality help you succeed?
I'd say, first off, separating the two. For me, in high school, I wouldn't play golf for like 5 months out of the year. I would just do football, and that was what I did. It was fun. Like, I loved it, and that's why I play. People ask me all the time, like, why would you risk getting hurt? And it's like, because I love it. You get one life, and, go do what you love. So that's why I did it. And, when I got here, I think the football just is different than golf. You get the team aspect in football. There's no other sport, in my opinion, where it matters to be a team. I mean, football, like you take any sport. I mean, the team matters in football more than anything else. And to bring that to life and our team in college is kind of important, in my opinion.
How important was it when you finished this thing off that Larry Penley finishes off an unbelievable career? And I don't know if you know this, but Larry and I were roommates at Clemson. And I remember when this whole thing got started, and it was emotional for me watching it this week to say, hey, this is the last hole he's walking, and he's walking it with you to win a national title. It was really, really kind of cool and kind of fitting.
Yeah, it was weird because he started walking with me on 4, I guess. And I was like, man, what's he doing? Like, usually I just see him on the par 3s. And I was like, well, I guess, we'll just get on TV and that, that's, that'll be cool. But then Bryson texted me. Bryson Nemmer played here. And he was like, it's pretty cool to see y'all 2 walk down the stretch. And I just thought about it when he texted me after the golf tournament. I said, man, that was actually really cool. My last, 5-6 holes of college golf and his last 6 holes of college golf, we got to share that together. So that was, looking back on it, was pretty special.
Yeah, no question about that.
I didn't realize that at the time.
Yeah, pretty cool.
All right, two quick notes here before Pac asks you a really important question that we do on this show. You've had quite a week. Win the national championship, got the last half dozen holes or so with Coach Penley, and this morning you're on a media tour that begins with one of Clemson's most decorated golf alums on a program on the Atlantic Coast Conference Network because, Packer was a major, major factor on the Clemson golf program in the 80s.
No.
Now, here's my question to you. Packer, some of the Clemson alums, notable alums, are trying. Mark has not played golf in 23 years, Turk, since his oldest daughter was born. Is that about right, Pack? 23, 24 years, right?
24 years without hitting a bad shot is the way I like to lay it out.
That sounds right.
Okay. But, Turk, he's being lured out of retirement by his former teammates for some sort of 3-day boondoggle somewhere to play golf. Do you think, being an NCAA champion and now one of Clemson's finest golfing products, do you think Mark Packer should come out of retirement to play golf?
I don't know. What type of golf are we playing? Is it just,
or just
drink a few beers and
yeah, that's probably maybe that.
Yeah.
Few may be the key word there, Turk. Few may be
if you don't keep score, do it.
Oh, well, I'm not keeping score. You kidding me?
Yeah,
Please.
then
I just hope to stay in the cart. I'm hoping to just stay in the cart by the turn.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's the deal on that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get that out of the way. All right, let me ask you a very important question. And now that McKenzie has received enough national attention, you're good for the next 4 or 5 interviews.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah, that's how that works. During your stay
Shout
there,
out to McKenzie.
That's right. During your stay there at Clemson University, Turk, what has been your hardest class at Clemson?
Hardest. I took this what do you call it?
You gotta tell us.
It's like a exercise science. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was exercise and science or something.
Don't know that.
Kinesiology, some craziness like that?
Yes, some stuff like that. And that was probably one of the hardest classes I took.
Yeah, we got to get that. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I would say. I don't know the course number or whatever, but something like kinesiology and I thought it was tough.
That's it.
Yeah, we don't need that aggravation. That's a problem is what that is. That's a problem.
Hey, Turk, a little birdie told me, are you a Falcons fan? Are you an Atlanta Falcons fan, Turk?
Big Atlanta Falcons fan.
All right, we'll have to talk offline. We'll get that covered offline at some point. You and I will. We'll work on that, okay? Yeah, we'll get that taken care of. Packer's not interested in that. He's too busy concerned about Carolina.
I tell you and Turk can hook up about the Falcons. I'll make sure McKenzie's at your next tournament. How about that? We'll get that deal done.
There you go. Yeah.
All right.
There you go. All right.
Sounds good.
Congratulations.
Hey, congratulations, man. That was awesome to watch, and we wish you the best. Know the next step will be fun to see, too, and thanks for taking time, and we appreciate being able to kick off your media bandwagon today.
All right. No, thank you for having me.
The Packer and Durham Podcast. Here's Mark Packer and Wes Durham.
Wednesday show continues. We go from a national champion in men's golf with Turk Pettit to the only team in the ACC that is hosting a regional this Friday.
Wow, yeah.
We're going to South Bend, Indiana. He's back for more. Link Jarrett joins us bright and early. First of all, Coach, good seeing you again, and congratulations as the only host with the ACC, which is hard to believe, but, man, you are the one. So congratulations.
Thank you. It's an honor, and it's a reward for the consistency that our team displayed all year. And I'm proud of how we got out of the gate, and then you look at the long grind of what this ACC schedule turned into. I'm so proud of our guys, and it is a reward. I think it was an unusual circumstance this year schedule-wise across the country. You know, our league determined that the 12 weekends was the way to go, so there wasn't as much crossover competition, which changed the RPI structure. And when the dust settled, you know, you have to go with the format that's in place when the year starts. And fortunately for us, we get to bring NCAA baseball back to South Bend. And our guys are thrilled to tickets sold out within an hour. And our guys yesterday at practice were so excited about that. Our capacity this year was essentially just their families and some athletic department staff and students. So this will be great for not only our program, but our community and the families and the kids to get to play when this place is packed, which we haven't seen. So everybody's excited about this.
Link, we touched last week when we were with you on the Monday of the Coach of the Year honor about the event in Charlotte and kind of what the different temperament was. What's your takeaway from that? And I know you've been enough places with enough teams that at some point you got to process what you can from that and use it to your advantage this week. So what's that takeaway for you and your team?
Well, we played one really clean game, and then our second game we did not play well. And Abbott from Virginia, that guy was completely on it. The fastball was electric. They got to Bertrand, had a very good offensive approach. They hit some balls out. They extended their lead. And we had played those teams, I guess, 6 times going into the tournament. We had just played Virginia Tech. You play them the 4th time, and then, we played Virginia early. And I think we swept them at their place. And, they played a phenomenal game in the second matchup we had in the ACC tournament, and that was it. And Virginia, this is across the board to me. Every weekend we played felt like it was a super regional weekend. And Virginia, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, NC State, Pitt, you could go on. Like, the caliber of play in this league for a grinding schedule was tough. And I think you saw it again in Charlotte. The format of the tournament is unique. It allows for some flexibility and some recovery throughout the week, as opposed to, maybe the SEC tournament where you're playing far more games if you advance, and the tournament in the Southern Conference where it's a double elimination 8-team grinder. So it's different. Yeah. I think it's fair. It does favor the higher seeds. It was a great venue. Charlotte, the stadium downtown, phenomenal. And the ACC did a great job. Chris Pierce organized that thing. There were other people obviously involved, but that was my first experience. I thought it was a phenomenal event.
Link, you play Friday at Central Michigan. What do you know about them? Because I know you're going to do the same thing. Great defense, pitching, timely hitting. That's the game plan. But what do you know about Central Michigan?
They're a very action-oriented team. They pressure you. They'll run the bases. They'll bunt. We played them one time, and we don't see their weekend arms. Their weekend arms are very good. You can look at their record and tell that they know what they're doing. Their team has a distinct personality. It's a pressure-based system, which actually takes a lot more detail and coaching than if you just show up and try to play. They really structure what they're doing. They're very disciplined. They're tough. They're energetic. It's a verbal game for them. They're into the game, and they're very good. Well coached, disciplined, know their roles, know their game, and that's why they're a championship caliber team.
Here's one of the things. I keep thinking about you personally and the experiences you've had and now this event, because you've seen it in all shapes and sizes. Florida State, Mercer, Greensboro, East Carolina, Auburn, Georgia. You've seen it all. How does this now fit for you? You're talking about a program, that's now returning to the NCAA tournament. It's returning to a host situation. 15, 16, 17 years ago, a College World Series participant institution. There is some substance to Notre Dame baseball, but this is a brand new group going through this experience. So how do you get them ready for what this is going to be in this particular format and the way you attack it from your experience at those other places?
Well, I think what made us successful this year is, even through the excitement of what we saw coming, we tried to approach this one game at a time, and every game is unique. And when you get into postseason play, the chances of playing teams back-to-back, it reduces itself. So you have to go into every single game, most likely different team that you're playing. You have to approach the intangible details of that game and what you think it takes to beat that specific team, and you've got to jump into it. And you have to figure it out more quickly than you would in a 3-game weekend series. So I think our approach in how we went about it even when you feel like we've got a chance to separate and win an ACC regular season title, you still, one game at a time is the way to go. Every one of the games is different, even if you're playing the same team 3 times. So now you simplify that a little bit more and you say now it's a one-team game and you have to jump in there and figure out immediately what you have to do to try to win that baseball game. And it's probably the most enjoyable part. I've watched our team engage in inning-by-inning competition, and I think that's why we were able to be successful. You have to have talented kids. You have to have guys that can go out there and pitch and run and play and defend, and we have that, but I think it's the way they dive into the competition and engage in what's happening in that inning, in that game, that has allowed them to be successful. And the postseason magnifies that approach, and that's how you have to go about it.
Link, have the guys figured out what the color combination is for Friday? I got to know that on a Wednesday. And do we know what we're wearing on Friday?
I know you want us in the green.
No, I don't. I don't.
You like that green. I know you said last time if you could go back and wear the green, those stats would have been better. I remember that. Paris dug up your stats. So, no, I don't know. I do think we have the choice. But right now, I don't remember what we were going with on Friday. But we'll figure it out. And I know your vote is now officially in for the all green.
No.
I don't know if that's something we normally wear at home.
Coach,
but
don't do that. Coach, don't do that.
You might even have it on now.
No, listen to me. I'm rooting for you, all right? And your team has had an unbelievable year. When I got back from vacation, you're playing Virginia, all right? And I don't want to bring up some old nasty memory here from Charlotte because you just gave Charlotte glowing reviews, but it was a long afternoon. And you know what you were wearing against Virginia? And I was like, no wonder. No, Link didn't listen to
the green, weren't we?
Yes. I'm just telling you. Don't go all green. Everything else looks sharp. I mean, really sharp. This is me to you. This is me to you.
I'll be honest, you sold that pretty well. That was a good soapbox. So I will now take that into account as I go back to Sean Guide, our director of ops, and we may retally your vote there. That was you did a good job.
I want you guys moving. We need you in Omaha. You're the one host team we got going where, hey, guess what? We're holding serve at home. Let's get to the next level. So we got to get you guys to Omaha. So I'm doing everything I can to head you in the right direction. That's what I'm trying to do for you.
You've got good vibes. I feel you pulling. I can feel it.
That's it. I'm telling you. Don't go all green on me. If I'm watching Notre Dame baseball this weekend, and I love the tournament, and I see you guys come out in all green, I'm just going to go, oh, Lord, help us all. I'm going to, Hail Marys. I'm going to be doing everything else because I'm just worried about the all greens. The all greens, I told you, you look sharp in everything, but the all greens make me a little nervous.
Okay, noted. The all navy.
Hey. I'm good.
Navy?
I'm good with. I can live with the all navy. It's just there's something about the all greens. This is just me. Me to you. Coach, something about it.
Coach, I'm just going to level with you. He also when Elliot Avon was on with us, one of the many times Elliot's been here, he also took Elliot to task on the all red.
I can't wear all the all reds.
So I mean, it's not exclusively to you. It's. He's the red and the green. There's something about it.
It's a Christmas
Georgia Tech went all yellow. He asked Justin Henry Malloy about the all gold look. I mean, it's just a Packer thing. It's just one of those things. I'm sorry. It's
old
just
school.
One of those things
well, you know
he's
what?
inquisitive.
Old school.
It creates excitement, and the younger players like seeing the green and the navy and
I get it.
NC State's red and Georgia Tech. It's funny that 10 years ago, these things started to evolve, and I think the equipment companies saw the excitement it created, and they wanted to be unique with it. So it's mainstream, and we're all accustomed to the all white or the all gray, and then maybe one solid color top. Yep. But it has taken on a life of its own, and the kids love it. So
I know,
they like it. The recruits like it. So it's neat,
Oh, yeah.
and it does add a dimension. I mean, look at what we're talking about. Like
That's it.
It does
Exactly
add some
right.
excitement to the event.
Well, listen, keep up the great work. I mean, it's been an awesome year,
question.
but now it's June, and it's go time. And like you said, you've been there, done that. And we look forward to watching you guys not only this weekend, but moving on as well.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me again, and I appreciate your support and promotion of everything we're doing in college baseball and obviously within the ACC. Thank you.
Packer and Durham. This is the Packer and Durham podcast.
Packer and Durham on a Wednesday. The Power Hour continues. We started with Turk Pettit, NCAA men's golf champion from Clemson. Link Jarrett, Notre Dame baseball coach. They're the host coming up this weekend, starting off with Central Michigan. And tomorrow night, the late game, the primetime late game. Talking Florida State softball, taking on UCLA.
Yep.
We're down to 8, and once again, the Noles are the last one standing. From the ACC, Elizabeth Mason joins us bright and early. There she is. Elizabeth, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, everyone. I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're not doing as well as you are because here we go again. We've gotten back to Oklahoma City, and Florida State is back where they like it with a chance to win the national title. It's got to feel good.
It feels great. It's an amazing opportunity to be able to, kind of start my career at the World Series and then end my career at the World Series. So I'm very thankful.
Elizabeth, when last week unfolded and we had Coach on here live from Baton Rouge on Thursday before the game Friday, we were joking about how often it's LSU, Florida State, and you guys go in there and win the first game. It gets a little thick in game 2. You hit a home run to tie the game, and it seemed like from that moment on that you guys were the more confident team, the more aggressive team. Is that about right? I mean, or am I misinterpreting that?
Honestly, I think maybe on the outside it seemed like it was that moment, but for us coming out of ACCs with a loss and, not living up to the standard that we like to hold ourselves to and the fight that we like to hold ourselves to, I think we had that in us from pitch 1 of game 2. It just happened to take a little bit longer than we maybe hoped for.
Elizabeth, I think that you should start showing a little bit more emotion when you play, when you're running around the bases. You seem kind of melancholy, kind of like, hey, I'm kind of bored. I think there's a daffodil or a butterfly in my eyes. I mean, you need to show a little bit more spunk, a little more enthusiasm. Can we do that moving forward? I'm just asking.
Yeah, I think we play the side-by-side from UCLA 2018 and LSU this year. You can just see how much energy I've lost over the past 4 years. And you know what? I will make it right this weekend, I promise.
By the way, I know we're coming up on the anniversary of winning the national title. You mentioned your freshman year. Are there any parallels or similarities about this team? I know it's going through a pandemic and a COVID situation, so it is totally different from that end. But as far as the team goes, are there any similarities from the national championship team versus this team?
There are some similarities, a lot of differences. I think one thing that stays the same throughout the years is just having such a strong pitching staff. Some great defense, obviously. Cindy Sherrill, Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC, and really just learning how our pitchers throw, learning the kind of game that we're going to play defensively. I think one thing that we've started to kind of pick up on that we've been missing that the 2018 team had throughout the year is that grit up to the last inning, the last out. I think previously we've kind of struggled with crossing the finish line, no matter winning or losing. But I think now we are in a better place of, even if we're losing, no matter the score, we're going to fight to the last pitch. And I think it couldn't be coming at a better time than now.
Elizabeth, it's interesting you bring that up because there's still enough presence from the 18 team on this squad. I mean, you, Anna, Danny, I mean, there are plenty of players who were all there, who kind of saw all this happen. How much do you think that matters now that you're in Oklahoma City and getting ready to play tomorrow night at 9:30 under the lights and all the things that go into the experience of that?
I think for maybe the sake of the nerves of playing on such a big stage, it's helpful to be able to share those experiences with the rest of the team. But when it comes down to the dogfight that happens in between those two lines, I don't know if it makes much of a difference. I think postseason Noles, we always come to fight, and I think that just comes out because of the culture that Coach has created for the team. I think if us returners weren't here, the Noles would still have the same chances as they would if we were here, that we are here. So the team's in pretty good hands, I would say.
Elizabeth, we were talking about when you go to Omaha for the men in the College World Series, what a spectacular event it is because the city embraces it. I've never been to Oklahoma City for the Women's College World Series. As a player, kind of take us behind the scenes a little bit. What makes this unique other than the games themselves as far as the cool perks and you kind of feel like you're on a stage and you're a star and all that kind of stuff? You kind of take us behind the scenes a little bit for the weekend.
Well, just compared to last year, it's pretty cool showing, like we showed up to the hotel and there's like huge signs out front that are like, welcome softball fans, and not even to make it about Florida State. I think it's just great to see that, the local area is embracing the World Series. And I think it's great for the game and for the sport of softball to be able to continue to expand its audience. I think that's a great thing about the World Series. It's very different playing like at LSU. Everyone there is an LSU fan. When you come to the World Series, a lot of times people just want to watch softball. So there's not typically there's not a bunch of crazy fans like hoping you lose the game. Sometimes Florida State a little different, but I think it's really great of an opportunity to be able to play just in front of a bunch of people who want to enjoy a good game of softball.
I think we had thought about trying to get Sydney on the show, but apparently because she's from Moore, just south of OKC, she's out trying to find all the tickets she needs. Is that the problem? Is that her biggest challenge this week, is finding tickets for everybody?
I think that's quite a few of the returning senior problems as well as Sydney's problems. Our coach asked us the beginning of the week, like, how many tickets do you guys need? And some people are like 2, I'm like 10, like Sydney's like 50 tickets. I'm like, 50. And then, we get the email. Yeah. 50. Then we get the email. They're like, you're allowed 3 tickets. And we're all like scrambling. Like, how do we get more tickets? Like, the stadium's huge. Where is the tickets? But, it's all part of it. And we're really thankful to be here.
Florida State softball has been the standard in the ACC for a long, long time, certainly since you've been there for sure. But this year has been unique. You didn't win the regular season. You didn't win the tournament. I suspect that's been a great catalyst, though, for a team that's always driven to win the big picture, and that is the national championship.
Yeah, I think we just play a little bit different when we have a bit of a chip on our shoulder. And it's just every game postseason we're like the predicted losers of the game. Like, nobody ever picks us besides us. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. We're in each other's foxhole. We're in each other's hip pocket. And, if it just takes us as a family to win it and the support that we do have, that's what we're going to ride with. And I think that's what motivates us to that next step, is knowing that we can do it, but knowing that people don't necessarily think we have it in us. And I definitely think the ACC tournament was a game changer for us. It hit pretty hard to know that, we were the team to lose the streak. I don't think we would have kept it forever, but it would have been nice maybe next year when I was gone to lose it. But I think it'll be a great postseason.
I'm going to ask you a crazy question. Hold on a second, Wes. I want to ask you a crazy question because we watched highlights of the LSU, and which was an unbelievable sweep. The art of the dog pile, Elizabeth. Your theory on the art of the dog pile. You want to be bottom, top, middle, roaming around? Hey, I was there, but I really wasn't there. What's your theory on that?
I think there's 2 places places that you want to be depending on the situation. You want to be at the bottom because that means you were in the action. That means you were there first and you got piled on top of. So it's always great to be a part of, one of the last plays of the game. I happened to be at the bottom in LSU and I popped 3 ribs out of place. So I had to go see the team chiropractor. I'm all good now, but I would say being at the top also has its perks because you get all the best pictures. You're in all the pictures, smiling, and you don't have the weight of 25 girls on your chest. So just depending on where you like to be.
I love it.
All right, here's the last thing from me. Lonnie's been so good to us. I mean, even back in the days before they agreed to put us on television and we were just doing radio, she joined Mark and I a lot. In fact, the morning after the national championship, she came on when you guys were still in Oklahoma City, which may have been against her better judgment, but nonetheless, she did the interview. So here's the idea. What has she meant to you? We know what she means to the program, but to you and going through this experience, it looks like she's the steadying force of this. Never too high, never too low, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I mean, outside of softball, coach, she's just amazing. I think she's one of those rare coaches that she wants you to be a better person when you leave and not just a better player. She always tells us to leave it better than we found it. And she's one of those coaches that lives that every day. And, she's a coach of her word, and her actions follow her word. She's not a coach that you're going to get something different than what she tells you. And I think it's amazing just to know that, as a coach, she cares about what opportunities are you going to have after this. She knows that softball isn't going to be something everyone can do forever. She wants to make sure that, we're in good hands as people professionally. She wants to make sure that, she's just continuing to give back to the sport, even if that means giving back to the players who are no longer going to be a part of the sport. Coaches, just from top to bottom, you couldn't ask for a better coach. She's amazing. She's created such a great culture for the team, and that's just something that I could never give back, I'm so thankful for it.
Before we let you go and get ready for tomorrow night in UCLA, here's our final question. Since you've been in Florida State during your tenure in Tallahassee, what has been your hardest class?
Oh, okay. So that's a tough question because from high school, I was a great student in high school, best GPA. And then when I came here, I did not do school very well.
Uh-oh.
But now that I'm in my master's program, I've gotten all A's. So the classes are harder in the master's program, but I apply myself more. So let me just answer the question. I think the worst class I've ever done was like a theory class, like a class about the theory of environmental ethics. And you had to decide, like, if this plant could cure cancer versus this plant that can cure this other thing, like, what plant should we let go extinct? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it was just one of those classes, like the ethics, the theory, it was very opinion based, and my teacher's opinion was never the same as mine. So I think that might be why I didn't do so good in that class.
Totally get it. Well, listen, you are very, very impressive on the field, and more importantly, how you're handling your life and getting your act together, because you've got it together. And we cannot wait to watch tomorrow night and all weekend long out there in Oklahoma City. We wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for having me.
Here's Mark Packer and Wes Durham.
Durham, final segment of a Wednesday show that was packed with all kinds of guests. National champions, ADs, coaches, student athletes, a little bit of everything. Fun show is right. And the rest of the week will be too, as we count down to show number 400 on Friday, assuming we're still employed. Keep emphasizing that.
That's right. Mark Whipple, the offensive coordinator at Pittsburgh. Tomorrow on this show, Gino DeMare, the baseball coach at Miami, stopped by for the Thursday program. This came out over the weekend, I guess. I didn't think this was possible, by the way. The Olympics are going to have 3-on-3 basketball as a sport this summer. Carol Lawson of Duke is actually coaching the women's 3-on-3 team.
Right.
And they qualified for the Olympics.
The men?
The men from the United States of America failed to qualify in 3-on-3 basketball? Excuse me? The United States of America failed to qualify for 3-on-3. I don't even know who we lost to. I don't even know who beat us. But I'm not happy at all about this. We lost. Wait, Drew's telling me. Drew, we lost to who? Wait, who? We lost to the Netherlands in 3-on-3 basketball.
Yeah,
Stop.
I will tell you, Wes, when I was in Amsterdam, what was it, a year ago, 2 years ago? They were talking trash. I remember walking the streets of Amsterdam, and people were like, "You from the States, huh?" Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. In 2021, we're going to kick your butt on 3-on-3 men's basketball. Yeah, right, folks in Amsterdam. I mean, seriously, what are we doing? How in the world can we possibly lose in basketball? Soccer, I get it.
3-on-3.
But not basketball.
3-on-3.
No, you got to work.
3-on-3.
No, you got to work hard. You got to work hard to lose from the United States in basketball. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be the arrogant American here, but that's almost impossible to do here. That's almost impossible to do.
Pac, you know this. With the way pickup basketball is played in this country, at parks and facilities around the globe in the United States, come on. You're not losing to the Netherlands in 3-on-3 basketball.
You shouldn't.
You're not.
You shouldn't.
And I'm going to tell you, tomorrow, a little more on this. Who did we send, and why didn't we go to, like, Rucker, and why didn't we go to some of these other places and pick up cats? I mean, the And One mixtape guys, they would have had 3 guys. We could have had, come on. We got a G-League thing going. Come on.
No disrespect. Just take the Hornets, please. They're not playing this time of year. Just take 3 guys to the Hornets. I think even Jordan couldn't screw that up. I mean, we got 3 guys on the Hornets who got us to the Olympics.
Tune into Packer and Durham weekday mornings from 7 to 10 Eastern for the best conversations about everything from the ACC. Find it on the ACC Network, SiriusXM Channel 371, and streaming on the ESPN app.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is LG Granderson here to tell you about my new podcast from ABC Audio called Life Out Loud. This show is all about preserving the history and honoring the contributions of the LGBTQ community. Each week, I'll talk to some of the most fascinating people paving the way toward a more inclusive world. These conversations can get heavy, but this show is also going to be filled with so much joy. And I mean, after all, we are called gay people, right? So gotta be some happiness in there somewhere. Check out Life Out Loud with me, LZ Granderson, wherever you get your podcasts.